the project file for my song Cherry Blossom Blues. I'm running Reason 11 at the moment, and as you can see, there are 3 primary workspaces for Reason 11 and a 4th small one that I have minimized because I want to focus on the main parts of the program. So at the top in this workspace here, which is a window that you can separate and drag out and stuff, you have a mixer, which is a conventional sort of, if you imagine a hardware mixer, it's the same sort of thing. Knobs, ins and outs, that sort of thing. Predominantly, I will use it just to mix the levels of my track. So these are all of the instruments that I have in Cherry Blossom Blues, and these are all the different volumes. Up here, you have the width of the track. So if you think of stereo music, left and right channels and width, the further the width, the more it extends it out across the left and right ears, if that makes sense to you. And then up, you have the various reverberation toggles here. So a warm reverb, a live reverb, a lofty film one. The corresponding buttons will toggle the effect on and off, and the lever knobs will either amplify or decrease the effect of the effect that we have here, if that makes sense. Sorry, I'm not very good at doing these narration things. Yeah, by and large, the rest of it's a bit boring to go through, but that's your mixer window. So this is where you will basically tinker with the tracks, mix, master, etc. Next, we have the rack, as you can see here. So what the rack is it's basically a physical representation of the synthesizers and samplers that we're using. So I'm just going to go up to this little thing here, if you follow my cursor up to the browser to toggle that. So Reason has instruments, effects, utilities, and players. If I click on instruments, I've got drum machines and so on and so forth. And if I wanted to create a new instrument, I would select it from here, click and hold, drag it into my rack. And you can just see on this right-hand side here, this is a zoomed out version of my current rack setup that I'm using. So all of these instruments here are represented physically here as well. Now the cool thing about the rack, I'll just make it a bit bigger, is that if you really want to futz around, you can press the tab button and flip the entire thing and start tinkering with plugging things and unplugging things. And that's been around since Reason 2. Very cool. And finally, last but not least, you have the sequencing window, or where you would basically arrange the tracks. So this is a bit more familiar territory. So the song itself that I have, Cherry Blossom Blues, try saying that 3 times quickly, is essentially represented in these blocks of music. So these are all the instruments, and you can see this is the arrangement of the song. You can select and solo out things. So for me, I have the drums at the top here. I can double click on this block and it opens up a piano window. Correspondingly, I can do the same for anything here. So I've arranged these bits of melody and then tinkered with them to make them do different things. So this is basically, once you have the music that you want to, or the instruments, sorry, that you want to work with here, in your rack, they pop up in your mixer, and then you can work with them in your arrangement. So I don't know if this is going to work while I'm recording it, but just for example's sake, here's, if I solo out this, so you can mute and solo out tracks, here's some cinematic piano. Let me just see if this will work. I don't know if it will. Sorry. All right, I can't really record audio. It's a bit too taxing on this iMac, unfortunately. But you get the idea of it, really. What you do is you drag these instruments into here, you record it, and arrange what you want to do, so you can manually click in little bits of audio across that piano roll. or you can use a hardware recording tool like a keyboard or something like that. And then on top of that, I haven't done it for this song, but you can also create audio tracks. Plug your guitar into your audio interface and then record guitar. That's a really, really quick introduction to the software itself, what it looks like and how it works. You can download it for free. The demo version, the only restriction is you can save your tracks, but you can't open them. Funnily enough, that means that I could open them if you send them to me. They're only like a megabyte each or something because it uses a proprietary encoding, but I guess you'd probably want to see if you could open like a stave editor or a music, like work with actual music notes as opposed to a piano roll perhaps, but if you were to check it out. But yeah, no, it's free to check out if you want. Incredibly powerful, good fun, and great for all the audio. I've been using it for almost 20 years. Alrighty, well, I guess that'll do. Cheers.